Yep.
John? Anybody ready? All right. Town of Vernon Board of Supervisors meeting called to order for July 19th, 2018 at 6 p.m. All rise for the pledge, please.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Chairman Thomas Byrd.
Present.
Supervisor Jeff Millies.
Present.
Supervisor Gary Wildy.
Present.
Supervisor Ed Moline.
Present.
Supervisor Bill Craig.
Present.
Mr. Chairman, note for the record that you have a quorum of your board present. DPW Director John Henneberry is here also.
Thank you. Open meeting law compliance.
Mr. Chairman, the agenda was posted inside and outside the Vernon Town Hall to the media, to businesses within the Town of Vernon, to the Town of Vernon website. You're in full compliance with the open meetings law.
Public comments. Are there any public comments? Any public comments? Let the record show there are no public comments. Item 6 is Chairman announces a possible closed session. Item 7, I will read the motion to go into closed session. Consideration and possible action on motion to convene into executive session under Wisconsin Stat 19.85 Pren 1 Pren E, deliberating or negotiating the purchasing of public properties, the investing of public funds, or conducting other specified business whenever competitive or bargaining reasons require a closed session, more specifically, negotiating of a contract agreement with the Village of Big Bend for EMS fire services and the Village of Mugwanago border agreement. Included in the closed session are town board members, fire department officials, and the town clerk. That motion will need a roll call vote. Item 8. Miscellaneous matters. The following matters will be discussed and possible action taken by the town board unless otherwise noted. Operator bartender's license for Christopher. Can you help me out here, Madam Clerk?
Chris, are you here? How's your last name pronounced?
Schifferl.
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 And Christina Belcher?
And Christina Belcher. We'll take these one at a time. Chris, do you want to come up front, please?
Yes, right there.
Can you just state your name again and your address, please?
My name is Christopher Schifferl, and my address is, sorry, I just moved. South 91, West 27850 National Avenue, 53149, apartment 28, Mugwanago, Wisconsin.
Okay. That's up at the Heaven City Complex up there?
Yes, it is.
Okay. Okay. I see you are applying for a bartender's license, correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. Gentlemen, any questions you want to ask Chris?
Chris, you've had a little bit of trouble in the past. Have you learned your lesson now?
Absolutely. Yeah. I've done everything to keep me out of trouble, changing my living circumstances and choosing better people to hang out with.
You can walk to work.
Yeah, Yeah, that is true.
Out of your apartment, right in the back door of the same heaven.
Right on top, actually.
Yeah.
Yep.
Need a motion, Chairman?
I'm just going over some of this stuff here. I see that a lot of this is misdemeanor, non-criminal, misdemeanor, non-criminal. Okay, dismissed. Yeah, I know it's hard being a young guy. I know it's hard with your peers and your friends and everything like that. But with this license, if you get a license here, this is going to put responsibility on you to act responsible. And if you see something going on or anything like that, you now
Take
have
responsibility.
to take responsibility and do something about it for, you know, because this is going to be a bartender's license. You have to take the responsibility to understand that.
I do understand, and I've taken responsibility for everything that I've done. And if you ask the courts or the officers or any of it, I've done nothing but take responsibility from day one. You know, I haven't said that it never happened. I didn't deny anything. I took full responsibility, and I've changed my life.
I know it's tough out there. There's a lot of it out there. You know. Any other comments, gentlemen? I said enough. Is there a motion?
Yeah, I'll make a motion to approve bartender's license for Christopher, and I apologize in your name, Shuffle?
Schiffel.
Shuffle, okay.
I'll second.
Any more discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
I'll abstain.
Chris, I just want to let you know that if the board approves this motion, your bartender's license will be ready to be picked up on Monday. But you can, if they approve it, you can bartend tonight.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Mm-hmm.
So it's been approved.
All right, great. Thank you guys very much. I won't let you down.
Good.
Thanks, Chris.
That's good.
Don't let us down.
Thank you guys very much.
Okay.
Christina M. Belcher. Is she here?
No, she's not required to come. And I just wanted to state to the board that all the fees have been paid. Both applicants have all their licensing in order. Everything's in order on as far as fees and licensing.
Okay. Is there a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve bartending license for Christina Belter.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. All right. Item B, light poles at the entrance of Rolling Hills subdivision. Homeowners Association, are there members here? Please come up and state your name and addresses, please.
Hi, my name is Holly Bodish. My address is W228S6479 Justin Lane in the Rolling Meadows subdivision.
I'm Sarah Pitzel. My address is W229S6625 Mackenzie Court in the Rolling Meadows subdivision. I'm the secretary of the Homeowners Association.
And I'm the president of Enjoy.
So, John, do you have anything you wanna, they've applied for a permit now?
Yeah, I've received the application from the Energies regarding the installation of the streetlights.
Okay. And we have a letter from the town engineer. Did you get a copy of this at all?
I just emailed it to him, just like,
We haven't had a chance to fully digest it.
Okay. I'm gonna read some of this stuff in here. It's per discussion with town staff, the newly installed light poles at the above referenced intersection were installed and approved without an approved permit application. The application form appears to have been submitted July 11th. The materials submitted contain basic information regarding installation, but lacks details required by our ordinance 18-3.1D. Now, are you aware of that ordinance?
Yeah.
Okay. In that ordinance, it says the applicant shall provide the exact location of all streetlights, sidewalks, utility, trees, and other obstruction in the vicinity of the proposed installation. The application shall provide a detailed report describing potential hazards to the public from said equipment, structure, and impacts due to location on safety for the driving public, pedestrians, and owners and users of adjacent property for such things as, but not limited to, fall zone, fire, explosion, chemical, environmental impact, and vehicle crash impacts. Said report shall indicate the risk of the safety hazards and the proposed design element to address said safety hazards. The plan must show how the installation and maintenance of said above grade right-of-way use will not impact snow or grass removal from the terrace, sidewalk, or street, or conflict with the operation or maintenance of vehicular traffic existing utilities above or below ground. An alternative analyst shall be provided to show what options other than locating above grade in the right-of-way exist and the approximate cost of such alternatives. Additionally, in reviewing this sketch, now this is our engineer, how are you going to keep the water out of the road? And how are you going to keep it from going across 164?
Yeah, well, that's just it. I mean, that's,
With just that little catch basin.
Great. Yeah, I don't see it.
We don't have any idea how much we're gonna increase the water flow through that, through that catch basin.
quite honestly, I don't think it's gonna be a tremendous amount.
It's not going to be anything in the summer.
And
No,
first of all, it's
no,
gonna
A couple
be,
days, not a long period of time.
The spring
either
is
way.
when we're gonna have the difficulty.
and
Still cost goes up.
even Paul Ambrose from the county agreed. He says, you're not turning the floodgates open, you know, I mean, it's, and when it's flowing, it's gonna be a constant trickle. It's not gonna be a surge
Right.
either, so.
So you're waiting for an authorization from the board to get a permit pulled from Waukesha?
Yeah, I gotta get the permit started if we're gonna do this from them. I'm gonna need a permit to do that.
And I make a motion?
is it, excuse me, is it the county or isn't it a state trunk highway?
Well, yeah, but Paul
Yeah,
Ambrose is from the DOT, yeah.
It's-
Well, who's issuing the permit? The
the
county or the
state.
state?
It's the DOT.
The county doesn't issue
Okay.
state permits.
yeah.
I mean, just to clarify, when you make your motion, don't make it for the
Department of
county.
Yeah.
Transportation.
Yeah.
Yeah,
DOT,
DOT, yes,
rather than
I'm sorry.
The county.
How much is that?
It's free, just gotta fill out.
Free.
Mhm.
Ah,
I'd like to make a motion.
Permit's free, but the work,
I don't wanna cut off discussion after we're done.
Make a motion.
I make a motion to approve John to go and get an application from the DOT to do the work necessary in that subdivision and hook up. Is that sufficient, Karen?
Mhm.
Second?
Is there a second?
I'll second. No.
nope.
Any more discussion?
I thought we committed to this, is my only additional discussion.
I think John just wants authorization to get that permit.
Yeah.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
Who's Jeff and Gary? Okay.
Just for my hearing issue, was that 3-2?
Yes.
Yep.
Thank you.
A motion passed. Barely.
Item G, Oakdale Drive Culvert Project.
Yeah.
Okay, I met with Neil from the county today, up there. I ordered the pipe. It should be 3 weeks out. So they're gonna come in. He said within 1 day he should be able to install that. And as far as a permit up there about going out to that county or DOT property, he says he talked to the guy already. He says don't worry about it. We're just going to be very minimal. Just got to move the fence a little bit so they have room to work. He said so they are waiving the permit for him because the county's doing the work.
Anything in writing?
Well, no, not yet. But I actually did mention that to him. I'd like to see
Please,
that.
yeah, let's not go through this again.
So, but yes, he will be up there. He says, just give me a week. Once we get the culverts delivered, they're going to install them and dig a little bit of, some silt and an exit and an entrance on there. And I talked with the guy from MudTech that will come in and grout it. He said he only needs a day notice, basically. So I'm thinking probably the third week in August this is going to happen up there.
4 weeks.
What kind of cost is going to be involved in this, John?
Well, the pipes themselves went up, obviously. That's $11,650 just for the plastic piping itself.
Wow.
The MudTech bill to grout it was like $5,000. The installation of the pipe at the time that he gave me was $1,745. But he's going to do a little bit more work with the excavator as long as he's got it there than what he originally.
Again, that's a pipe that lasts forever, according to everybody.
We're going to be done with that as long as.
It won't rot out at the bottom.
It's plastic. Yep, it's all new stuff. They've been using them on the freeways all over, so you don't have to dig up the freeways. They
So
push
it's
in.
a one-time job.
It's a one-time deal. Then they line it around the outside of it with cement, and it's a slightly smaller culvert, but being plastic and smooth, it handles the same amount of flow.
What's the diameter of the
This
thing?
is a 36-inch going into a
It's
48.
still pretty good size.
Yeah.
Isn't there some funding from the county?
3 feet.
Oh yeah, and the county's
Just so you know, the county's
paying half
helping.
of whatever we spend on this project.
Oh, yeah, the county's going to pay
So-
part of this.
Pick up for it.
Yeah.
What's your estimate, John, if you would shut that road down, tear that culvert out, and replace it?
Oh geez, we were just talking about that today. Just the replacement, the pipe itself for the 48-inch was $6,000. Okay, $6,400 just for the pipe itself, and that's without digging the whole road up, closing the road for a week, and the gravel and everything else, and then the ends and stuff like that. So I would say at least double the price of what we're looking at right now, because by the time you put all that gravel in, and
So you're looking at 40,000?
I would say 35, something around there.
Wow.
If you had to do this, dig the whole thing up, yeah. So
I
yeah,
just
you're,
wanted to, get that out there and make sure that, people understand that we're trying to keep the expenses down.
Appreciate John's efforts in getting the county to put half the bill on this thing.
Where exactly is that, John?
it's 150 feet north of the expressway.
Oh,
It's actually, it's like the bottom of the freeway. And I tried to get them to admit that it was their culvert, but they said no. It's if you have a road there, we wouldn't. If you didn't have a road there, we wouldn't need the culvert. So it's ours. Basically, that's their theory.
Tell them that's their road. Yeah.
Tried.
Well, the county's tapping into a federal fund that
Are they?
allows counties working with municipalities, so they're tapping into resources that they got from the federal government.
I think they get up to like $100,000 a year to put towards these projects. Then they can
Stormwater.
decide.
Boy, that's expensive.
I was just gonna ask, how do we decipher, John Reed, between mandatory stormwater culverts and town of Vernon needs determining? Where does that breakdown come from?
It's in whoever's right of way it is, Bill.
Basically, is because it's ours.
If it's in our right of way, it's our baby.
Yeah.
And that road was starting to cave in, you said, right?
Yeah, it's actually a sinkhole.
You spent a lot of time with the county debating whose issue that
Oh, yeah,
was.
yeah.
So I know we've gone over that part of it.
Yeah, and then the DNR was involved. He came up and he wanted some of the inlets on from the basically uphill, some of that cleaned out too. But that's on the DOT stuff. So I talked him into that too. I says, "Well, this is all you. You guys got to clean that out as long as you're here." And he says, "Yeah, we'll take care of that too." Because the DNR wants to be there and involved and kind of witness what's going on there. So he's got to be involved too.
Check those schedules.
So when is that supposed to start?
Well, I'm supposed to be receiving the pipe about August 9th, so I'm thinking the following week. Technically, he said 2 to 3 weeks out on the pipe. Usually 3 weeks, but
Because isn't there a huge ditch running parallel to the freeway right next to that house? That's what I thought.
that's where it is.
And this 36-inch will take it, huh?
Yeah, I mean,
Boy, that's a huge swell.
yeah, it's
So do you need anything else from us for that?
no. That's just an update for you guys.
You got quite a bunch of stuff going.
I do. I'm very busy.
If you need something, give me a holler.
It's got a shovel for you.
Had a kind of yellow vest, right? With a stop sign?
You want to run a weed eater?
Okay, item H. So that, both that G, F and G, you don't need anything else from us?
No.
Okay.
What about money in the budget?
Well, yeah, we got money from the stormwater for that project.
Okay.
Yeah, we
So
did
it's gonna
budget.
Come out of stormwater budget?
Yeah.
We budgeted for that.
Okay, good.
Okay, item H. Demolition or burn of the Vernon Activity Center. Okay, you have a report on that, John?
Yeah, the guy from PARS, the asbestos removal people, kind of was quizzing me as to when we could schedule this. And I said, well, I still haven't got the confirmation to do this yet. So he called me back, it must have been the week around the 4th of July, and said, well, we're closing the doors at the end of the month. So if we'll honor your price and stuff, he said. So I called Tom up. I said, well, what do you want to do here? I got to schedule something now, or we have to start all over, getting another company in and bidding and whatnot. So he said, just go ahead and schedule it. So I scheduled them to come and remove the asbestos siding and the flooring in there on the 23rd, which is next Monday. Now, in order to burn that, some of that, more of the tile would have to be removed if you want to burn it. If we demo it, you don't have to spend an extra $1,300 cost to remove that extra. So, I said, if you guys want to demo it, we can demo it. I got
Well, if we demo it, how do we get rid of it? You still have the
I've
issue
got
that-
some quotes from Advance and Source for dumpsters. Source gave me for a 30-yard dumpster was $460 at 4 tons and $56 per ton over.
Johnny, question though, you said extra $1,200 if we want to burn it, because there's other stuff in there that has to be removed to meet the environmental EPA crap, right?
Right.
So, they're willing to take it as a dump site? Demolition? They'll
Yes,
take that
yes,
stuff?
if as long as it's still glued down to the flooring, it's
It's okay.
acceptable, yes. But they cannot burn it
Cause then it
Yes,
fumes
the
and, yeah,
atmosphere.
okay.
right. So it's, yeah, exactly. So, but then I got a quote from Advance for a $200 haul charge per dumpster and a $38 per ton, 38.60. So it comes with $393 per dumpster.
How many?
Total,
Yeah, how many-
1,300 to what?
Well, I'm started at 10 dumpsters, just to throw that out there.
Alright,
So you're looking at 3,000, what was it here? $3,544.
so demolition costs more than 1,300 to get rid of the extra material.
Yes, and if you burn it down, you're still gonna have to digging out some of the whatever's left
Still
over
have a couple of
and
dumpsters,
getting
yeah.
rid of it anyhow.
Yeah, but it's gonna be less dumpsters, isn't it?
Right, well, it's up to you guys to figure out, decide what you wanna do. I mean, that's,
I guess I like to
Fires.
get a feel for how many
Fires.
dumpsters. Yeah. Well, it's always a good training exercise,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
dollar to dollar.
well, we still gotta
which
get
way
rid of
is
the
it cheaper?
foundation
I
and
don't,
stuff.
how do we determine without knowing what the hauling
You
charge for
bulldoze it
the
in?
ashes are?
Is that what you do?
What's that?
John,
He
to
said-
guess,
he said he
which one do you
bulldozed
think
it.
is the most
Yeah,
economical way to go?
What?
Your guess is as good as ours.
Well, what's the deal with the shingles now? Are they requiring shingles to be removed also?
No, that's the last time we burned a house, we did.
No? 'Cause I've
We fill
always-
out a permit to DNR and we use it for training.
Okay.
So, there's a lot of money to be made by these companies by exploiting government, so.
Well, I get that, but the extra $1,300 for the extra removal is what gets me, that it's not necessary if we get demo it.
Again, that's his opinion, I mean, you may wanna get a,
Well, he's got the DNR permit here, already submitted to do his removal.
Okay, but
But-
we need a different permit to burn it then?
you have the DNR makes you fill a permit out, you have to wait 10 business days before you do anything. So they have time to come inspect it if they want.
So it's a horse apiece here.
Yeah, it's up to you guys what you wanna
So
do.
this all the tile that's in the kitchen?
Yes, the kitchen floor, that's the stuff he needs to remove. The other stuff, and the lower level right by the garage, I think that little storage area was also the
Well, I
same.
just went with the $1,300 addition. That's,
That was the other tile in the living room area.
yeah.
They covered it up with some wood flooring,
Oh, I didn't know that.
so there's underneath there's other tile. Old
So they're just gonna cut the whole floor out,
well, they have to scrape up the tile.
or the remove
Yeah,
the tile?
yeah.
But,
We're all set to go to the demolition, aren't we?
well, is it a big area, or could you guys cut the tile out and throw it in the dumpster? I didn't get it.
I don't think so.
I
You mean
don't
the
know.
asbestos?
Well, the additional $1,300 section.
Doesn't it have to be removed by somebody that's certified?
Once you,
I think the DNR would tell you, you gotta have a environmental group go in to cut that out.
Yes.
Because you're touching the
I mean, if it
Got-
glue
was,
and asbestos that's in the glue. That's what
Right.
you're talking about.
It just seems weird that it's okay to throw in a
Yeah.
landfill, but it's.
It's a goofy rule that says
Yeah,
you can
it's
take
just-
it, one seems opposite of the other, but you gotta remember, this is the Environmental Protection Agency, you don't look for common sense. Follow the rule.
Well, what do you guys wanna do, burn it or dump or demo it?
No, I think we're better off burning it, so pay the extra $1,300 to burn it.
Me too. We kind of had decided that's what we were gonna kind of to do.
Trying to.
I wasn't aware that the dumpster cost was gonna be so high and how
Can
many
they
you're
do
gonna
that
need.
when they do the other asbestos removal?
I'll have to give him a call
Yeah.
tomorrow and try and line that up, then, yeah.
Okay.
If that's what you guys wanna do, that's not a problem, I'll make the phone
Then
call.
who gets the permit from the DNR?
You
To
guys-
burn it?
What, to burn?
Yeah.
To burn it, typically the building owner has to fill it out, which would be you. And they waive the fee for us, because it's our training. As long as there's a viable training, opportunity for the fire department, we're allowed to use it as an acquired structure to
How many
burn.
manpower, what type of manpower are you gonna use for that training?
Well,
What do you
we-
think the cost will be for that?
we would do a multi-department training event, so, and we'd use it on hopefully several occasions.
Yeah.
We'd use it first for some non-destructive training, ladder training, things like that. And then once we decided at what point you wanted it gone, then it would be burned down on typically either Saturday or Sunday morning.
Then we start cutting holes in it,
Yeah.
cutting holes in the floor.
And if we don't have anything pressing to get rid of it, it'd be nice to keep it for several months, just to be able to use it for training. We typically do it later in the fall, because the temperature's a little bit more moderate, things like that.
He's got equipment in there from the park and rec too, so yeah, it's,
First we gotta find a home for that.
right.
No, we'll get to that. I have a question for John. Saw that on the electric, or the power bill again. Have we set up a date to get the power,
I got
everything disconnected,
I-
water, power?
Just give me the okay, and I got the number right here. I'll have the gas disconnected and the electric disconnected. I
Is there any reason to leave that on right now?
No.
Don't they need it for removal, because they need power and water?
He needs water there. I said, we're gonna have to run a hose from over here. I got the water shut off over here by the shop. I can turn it back on, but I don't know what's gonna happen over there. So,
The volume of water you're gonna get there with the tankers and your pool, how would you set up for the water? What do you need?
Like we do a regular structure fire, just be a rural operation.
But
We have some tenders standing by and we draft and.
Yeah, I
They need
mean,
the
water's
water.
not an issue,
they
is
need
it?
the water for the asbestos
For
removal.
the asbestos.
They need water and power to remove that.
Yeah, for the
that-
dust.
that part.
They like to water down the asbestos just to keep it from getting airborne.
The only thing we need to make sure of is that they don't destroy the inside of that building to the point where we can't walk on the floor. We've had it happen with other abatement companies where they'll come in.
They might.
Or the abatement company has a side deal with a guy who will come in and scrap it.
Yeah.
The next thing you come in and every door is gone, every handle's gone, every window's
Yeah.
gone, because some guy came in and kind of pilfered it.
John could make that,
Yeah, I'll talk with
explain
him.
it to him, you know, just take what you need to take out of there and
Well,
leave the rest.
when they do it, we like to, just maybe
Have somebody
make
here.
sure that, we had one where we came in and they had cut the stairs out, because the guy wanted the stairway with the banister.
Yeah.
It took our whole second floor away, we had to basically build stairs.
Okay.
So once the asbestos, they're done, then you can turn off the power,
Okay.
water,
And that's
gas.
Monday. That'll be Monday.
So we shouldn't see another, well, see them one over, that's it, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sick of seeing them.
Yeah.
What else you need from us for that?
Nothing,
You gonna
I
start
just,
working on the DNR permit then? After
he's already got it. They filled the DNR permit out.
To burn?
No.
Burn.
Oh, to burn.
You need a demo permit.
I'll do that.
No.
I'll do
Yeah.
that.
Here.
We'll do it together.
I just wanna keep it moving.
Once
Have we
it's,
decided we're burning in?
Yes.
yeah, once it's burned down, do we have to remove it or do we cover it with fill?
I've been saving Phil just for that reason.
Oh,
My question is, how much of that do you want removed out of there? Leave the foundation in, dig it out? Is there plans for future use on that site? Because if you're gonna wanna build something else in there later on, you don't wanna run into all this block and concrete
Yeah.
when you're digging up another thing. So that was my question. We can take any kind of concrete or whatever over to Johnson's pit. They have a recycling for concrete. A lot of that stone, the old stone walls in there though. So I guess that's a question too. What do you want to do with it? I know when they did the barn over there, they just kind of pushed it in and filled over it. But there's a foundation there that you're going to deal with later on down the road if you want to ever
Build something.
do something on that site. So,
Oh, I think it should go.
and Bill brought up a great point too with the septic there also. If that's going to have to be removed and that's blocked, so we could dig that out too. And fill it in. So.
Alright, something to consider, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, that's something,
yeah. As long as we can do it ourselves.
yeah, we can do that part, but we can haul that with dump trucks,
Okay.
So, I mean, that's,
Do you need to coordinate with them and the guy that's gonna do the flooring to make sure that he's understanding what their needs
yeah,
are?
I'll let you know when he's gonna come. Like I said, he's gonna be here supposedly Monday, but he thought he'd be there for a day or two, possibly more now that we're gonna have to do a little more work, so I'll let you know for sure, and,
All right.
Okay.
So item H, I'm gonna make a motion to burn the activity center.
Support.
And pay the extra 1,200, you said?
It was like 1,300. I think.
The extra
Yes,
1,300.
yes.
I'll second it.
Any more discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Item I, deadline for reorganization of equipment at the Vernon Fire Station 2. Chief, you want to come up and give us a report on that? Good evening, guys. So where are we on?
About a deadline tonight. It's done.
Come on, you guys are quick.
It's done.
Where'd you put the stuff?
Where'd you dump your
The stuff that
tires?
we're gonna sell, we got organized on
Yeah.
the floor.
Okay.
That room that you need to, that back room is, everything's out of it, the
Yeah,
shelves given white down.
Yell.
So
Because
we're
I was
ready
there
for,
Tuesday.
you wanna move all the balls and stuff into there, do
Okay.
whatever you want to do.
When can you move all the stuff from over?
Well, they're not gonna do that.
No.
When you say me, you're referring to him, right?
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
I got nothing better.
Bounce right off, yeah. Did you do that?
Last night.
Last night? Okay, because I was there Tuesday and everything was still there. I was gonna say, hey, what's going on? You know.
Just as a side note, we had a power issue there. And one of our members'
training
husbands, he works for does electric, and he comes in, he thinks building was struck by electricity. And
There's stuff that you're gonna be able to sell?
Oh, yeah.
Did you say the building was struck?
He thinks.
Is that why we couldn't get the lights on the kitchen and stuff?
Should we call the insurance company?
What's that?
I don't think we're.
Well, we were there, we couldn't get the lights on.
Maybe I'm guessing. Maybe have
They
John
said
come
they
by
thought
and
it was
take a
struck by
look
lightning.
and see if he can come up with anything. I mean, he gave it once over in his favor, but just one of those things that
Wiring fried, circuit breakers blown, what,
ballast,
for, oh, the lights themselves.
and switch. There was 2 switches that were gone.
Do you think it's recent? The only reason I ask is We Energies has a team that comes out. If there's if we call, they come out and they investigate. If
That was not working when Gary and I went there, how many weeks ago?
Oh.
To look at it?
But it's
So it's been a while.
So it's all up and running now.
Yeah, We Energies here's town of Vernon,
Yeah, they're not our favorite people.
Yeah, I'll say
Sorry, that was on the air.
They probably did it.
There's still a few things that we want to get out, but we
Yeah.
moved a lot of there was a lot of scrap metal that when we went through everything that I moved up to Station 1 that is now outside that I'm waiting for the right crew to be able to take that to the recycle center. And then we'll get rid of that.
Okay.
There's the big blue stair monster that we don't need anymore that we're gonna take that to the dumps, to the recycle too, but,
You got an old generator, some kind of old.
we're gonna list that. Yeah.
Is that still viable?
Chief Hay says it is, so.
Are you kidding?
Well, on that,
Right, copper net, I'll bet you.
I went with Holterman's recommendation, and he thinks that the size of that thing, there'll be something
he should
that'll
know.
snatch that up. So,
Scrap value on that.
Now, there's a lot of stuff that's salvageable or recyclable.
there was, last night I had, BC's Kabaki and Holterman with me along with the duty crew, and, we actually brought up one of our engines that was in need of some of the equipment, and we went through everything with a fine tooth comb to make sure that it was stuff we didn't need.
Okay.
And we put that stuff that was there that we could put on that 63.
Is that virtually new generator sitting there, the Honda, go on some piece of equipment in?
Honda.
Wasn't it a Honda?
Yamaha.
Yamaha.
Huh?
No, it's the Yamaha.
Yama? But you used it.
That came off of.
When you guys list this stuff and you sell it, please make a list so we can take it off. Is any of that stuff on the inventory?
I think a lot of it is not inventory.
No.
I think a lot of it is so old
It's not on
that
there.
it was prior administration that,
Okay, we need to keep a record of what's sold and
so
what.
we will do that. This is gonna take a little bit longer.
Oh, yeah. Well,
But,
it's fine.
I kinda gave BC Holterman the job of trying to set this up to start it. I took a lot of pictures of stuff last night, thinking about it more today. I'm probably gonna lot a lot of this stuff, where this is the lot,
and just write all that stuff down, and then, you know, BC Alterman's really good at telling me what everything is, and he will describe everything.
Okay.
And then when we do that on the bottom of it, you know, it's sold as is, no guarantees.
Yep.
And that's standard language. So,
Did you find anything unusual that you thought you forgot about that was there that you didn't realize that you could use?
Tires from some rigs that are gone, long gone.
What were those tires?
so by the way, I'm sorry.
I found them this morning.
We dropped those off here because those won't fit any of our rigs, and we
Okay.
figured if it was anything that you could fit,
Yeah, we might be able to use them.
use them, otherwise we were gonna get rid of them. So we purposely dropped them off, so. And somebody else was kind enough to dump, probably 15-gallon jugs of oil in the back of the building.
What?
Well, we'll take them. We get money for that.
We brought him here and dumped them.
Well, that's good because we get a lot of money for that.
Yeah.
You know, we did a lot there. But you gotta realize too that there's a lot of storage in there that was stored in that trailer.
Remember when the trailer had leaked?
That emergency management?
No.
Semi-trailer,
Semi-trailer. A
Oh,
lot of our training props are there.
yeah.
Now, a lot of those training props are at Station 2.
Okay.
So those we're not gonna get rid of a lot of that door.
is there room to walk through the door and get to the back room for
Oh, yeah.
moving this stuff?
Yeah, we just need to make sure we have accountability for who's coming and going there.
Yeah.
Because obviously it's still a fire station, and we have some concern.
Shouldn't be anybody but town employees.
Well, but again, people coming and going, we need to make sure we have accountability that, you know, something doesn't end up missing from the station or.
Got some nice lounge chairs. I'd like to have one of them.
Like I said, one of the final things we need to do is, Chief and I have been, like the last 3 weeks, you know, I get the time finally, and hey, let's get down there.
Yeah.
And his kid's got a baseball game, so he's at the game. So we've been,
Or we get a fire and we're
or
gone.
we get a fire and we're gone for,
Like this afternoon again, so.
you know, so we've been,
Wales again.
depending on what time we get out of here, we may swing by there. But
Okay.
I want to go through everything that's laying on that floor before I do anything and have his okay and go ahead that this is definitely what we're doing with this stuff.
Appreciate that.
Let's keep good records of it, that's all.
So how much stuff are we looking at that's coming from there over to there?
Everything.
Well, I know, but what is that? Is it a semi-truck
Balls
full?
and,
Is it
yeah,
a?
baseball equipment?
Football?
He's just a garage. She's got, it's pretty scattered full, I would say, you know.
An 8x10 room.
Yeah, you see
10 by 10.
all the equipment in that room.
Which room we talking about?
back.
The back,
The back,
where all the
has the
equipment
cabinets
was.
in there, all those cabinets.
It would
are-
fit in there, yes.
Okay.
All those cabinets are in.
Then we'll
That'd be
probably,
perfect, because he's got stuff that would probably be utilized for the cabinets.
Plus
And
on top of that.
bins,
cabinets and
he's
stuff.
just got bins of balls, soccer
Yeah.
balls, catching
Baseballs.
gear,
but then
baseball.
that can be secured then too, so we don't have guys playing soccer all day.
Yeah,
You think you can move it today?
yeah,
Should be
I
a
could put
problem,
my
huh?
guys on it, we'll just grab some of our,
Seasonal.
recycle bins that we have back here and fill them up and
Take it up there.
wheel them up, you know.
He can secure it with padlock, whatever he wants to
You
do.
don't have a
Right.
car. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, right. And the other thing, we have a refrigerator in there.
You need
Yeah.
a refrigerator for your
In the
shop?
storage room?
No, it's
No,
in the kitchen.
Yeah, there's two.
Yeah, there's two of them.
That one in the
old-
garage is
no,
pretty
like get rid of
junky,
it?
isn't it?
The old one we'll.
Isn't the one in the
you want it
garage
for
pretty
the guys in
bad?
the shop, you're more than welcome to have it.
Still working good?
I'll see what
The
they
working
say.
was plugged in.
We got one out there, but it's an apartment sized
Oh,
one.
this is like
Oh,
top of
yeah.
the line.
Does it have an ice
Top of the
maker?
line,
Ice
like
maker?
60s kitchen ware.
$20.
I was reading.
I wouldn't even put it outside.
We'll save you the buyer's fee.
Well, I'll charge you 20 to transport.
Item I.
Yeah.
Probably get 50 from We Energy,
Yeah, let's put a date, it's done.
Yeah.
Thank you. Now, we notify, our park and rec director, so he knows it's time to move.
Yeah.
You got a guy coming in Monday, it'd be nice to have that done.
I had one of the guys clean out the kitchen area today,
Okay.
just get the jump on it.
You wanna talk to Mike?
A couple of ladders.
I'm gonna send him an
You
email.
wanna talk to him?
Send email.
I'm gonna send him an email
Yeah.
Okay.
to let him know that, what we're
We're
gonna
ready?
do.
Yeah. I was,
Yep.
he needs to be notified.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah, thank you.
Item J, open records request to Big Bend Clerk and Village of Big Bend for financial information.
Chief.
We've got some today.
Yeah.
Chiefs, have you seen any of this?
It was emailed, but
That was the email that we got this morning,
yeah, it's for Patrick. Yeah, just at 4 o'clock this afternoon.
4 o'clock.
You haven't seen it yet.
Like waiting to the last minute, huh?
What's that?
Nothing like waiting to the last minute.
No. I don't know how much of it is.
Do you need one, Ed?
This is the latest one they're gonna have.
Yes.
The village, were you guys aware of this?
It's
thing?
dated,
No. Okay, here, pass this over to Pat. Think again with that, Pat.
Is that flyer we heard about?
Yeah.
The one that we have a member
Yeah.
lives in the village, and she never got one?
Yeah, that's it.
So we got any comments, guys? Phil?
This is,
They are
Oh,
always
that
one
is
as
one,
additional
okay.
help.
and this one?
They had 42, according to the records, fire calls.
So
Does that seem possible?
You know, I don't know.
In 2017.
I think that the way to fact check some of this would be to make an open records request to WCC, the County Communications Center, and ask them for CAD records for a period of the same thing. There was
I
a
mentioned,
there was
Tom,
a study that was done.
you got the wherewithal to follow up on some of this stuff with the dispatch and find out what's true and what's false.
We got into some trouble with the Department of Labor. And how in the world, how many duty crews in the village, they don't have no records existing of duty crews. And they don't have any records of part-time staffing.
Because they have none.
Oh, okay, maybe that's why they don't have any.
Right. You know, it's pretty much a free-for-all that whoever's around can respond to a call.
Okay.
But they have to turn in a slip to get paid because they're under,
Yeah.
don't they get paid for the calls?
I'm not sure how they get paid. I know that there are federal regulations that
Say how they.
you have to pay a federal minimum wage if you're working.
Yeah,
So they made reference to $17 a call or something. If that call's 5 hours,
yeah.
you are not meeting the compliance with FLSA and the labor standards for paying your people. So
I'm gonna let you guys look at this
Yeah.
stuff. I want you to look at the information that we received from them. And then I'll give you a call
sure.
and we can chat about some of this stuff.
Yeah.
You know, they had their town board meeting and some people were, village.
For what?
And they were live streaming it on Facebook. And there were open comments and a lot of people were making open comments that were just ridiculous. I don't know where they're getting their information.
Very erroneous, very emotional.
We had a second call that we did call for mutual aid on, like 2 or 3 weeks ago. We were on another paramedic call, and we actually had the people to staff it, but one of our guys had called mutual aid already.
Because he thought it was on the far west end, so he called McGuanago.
Yeah.
Said, well, there was,
Must be, yeah.
he didn't catch the numbers, it was actually farther down
hang on,
towards
right?
that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Towards the east part of town, and so that's why we called McGuanago, because obviously, if we get farther out west, they're closer anyway. Well, that was one of the first things that was brought up, that, well, I don't want to talk bad about people, but they couldn't handle a second call, and right away everyone's, getting emotional about it.
And I was talking to Chief about it. I'm like, I can't remember. Since 2010, there might have been another one that we've had to call on a second call or a third call where we had to call for help. And it's just like, I didn't know where they're getting that information.
Right.
It's all.
Well, they make up whatever they need.
Yeah, and that we're gonna charge them more for ambulance transports and we're gonna come after them harder.
The night you had those village board members here, we were running 3 calls simultaneously, what was going on, and we were still
And
sitting
we were
there,
still
so,
sitting here.
Yeah.
obviously monitoring, but so, there's a lot of emotion, we understand that, but it's very frustrating when you get people who are,
Fabricating.
they're fabricating information, they're emotional, they're being erroneous about the information.
Yeah.
One guy talked about a fire, they were the first ones there to help out test corners. The reality was we were the first ones there to help them out, and it's just one of those things. Whatever you can do to, it's almost like a negative political ad.
The saddest part, the whole thing was trying to get their financials back in order, and nobody's talking about how they're gonna fix that except the new board members.
And the county just released a study last week. The consolidation fire study was released last week. One of those plans actually called for elimination of Big Bend's fire department.
Do they know?
And a couple other fire departments in the county, but again, it was a county study that, you know, does have some challenges, but they had a consultant come in that looked at all the different, you know,
That's
facets.
when Paul got going way back when?
Yes, the three-year study that we finally got to look at last week. But, you know, again, it's when you talk about emotions and things like that, it's easy for things to really get skewed. When you look at the factual data like response times, staffing, ISO, equipment, insurance ratings, things like that, it's...
Did you ever identify where their insurance rating is? Do we know?
That's a question I was gonna ask you. At a point, does the state require certification of the individual
Fire officers?
Yes. Or the officers or the equipment? I mean, is it
Did you look at the
out of
equipment
date?
list?
At a certain point, if you don't have an engine that's certifiable, are you liable if there's an incident?
Absolutely.
They have
Okay.
to be DOT inspected, correct? So we have them done by Merit Repair.
We have annual PMs that are done every year by our
Yeah,
maintenance
right.
company, that they do the once over, so to speak. But there's a lot of NFPA standards, there's a lot of recommendations, there's a lot of state standards. Now, there's a state standard that says you have to be a firefighter to drive a fire truck.
Yeah.
They have people that deal with drive fire trucks that aren't firefighters. And everything's fine until someone gets in an accident.
Yeah.
And then someone's going to be taken to the cleaners. So, you know, all of our positions we have job descriptions, there's qualifications, there's certifications. Every chief is a fire officer one, every company officer is a fire officer one. You know, so I think we bring a lot to the table, and I'm not knocking anyone else, but when you want to have an educated discussion, you need to look at those factual points and not the emotional side of things.
Okay.
Did you ever see any contracts with the other fire departments that are doing this? Good ideas on how it should be worded?
I have another chief from another community out west is getting me some of his contracts. They're somewhat generic in nature, but he's used it for, I think, 5 different communities now. And it's actually worked out pretty well for him, so I have to remind him to send that to me.
I just want to make sure we're not missing something. Or...
And that's what I asked him for. I mean, he's done some stuff in county and out of county, so.
How do we get a copy of that Paul's report for the county?
It's online.
It is.
Just if you Google Waukesha County Fire Study,
Yeah.
it'll be on there and you can print it out. It's about 150 pages, so.
You ready to go?
So it says here in 17, they spent $63,000 in wages for 160 runs.
I don't think 160 is pushing it.
Yeah, I would probably say that it'd be probably best to check your numbers.
Well, paper quotes them if it can do the math on that. You know, they don't pay their people anything?
So but they got like 4 assistant chiefs, don't they?
Yes. No, 2. EMS and fire.
Yeah, they get a wage break then.